Hello, everyone. This is the presentation for the late-breaking work, How the Death-Themed Game Spiritfarer Can Help Players Cope with the Loss of a Loved One, authored by Karam, Valérie, Subin Lin, Sungpil Wang, and Young Do from Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, KAIST. Video games are now more than just a fun material. Commercial video games are emerging as a medium that can facilitate meaningful experiences by creating an environment where players can project their thoughts, feelings, and connect their real-life experiences. This presents new opportunity for coping with hardships in life through gameplay. Nevertheless, the experience of players who have gone through one of the hardest life events has been underexplored, and that is, those who lost their loved ones to death. Games about bereavement are scarce, and existing researches focused more on designers' experience than the player's experience. And our purpose was to explore this new area, to investigate the player's bereavement process while playing the commercial death-themed game Spiritfarer, and explore the new potential of video games. We chose the game Spiritfarer, which is a game where you manage a ship, befriend lost spirits of the deceased, and accompany them until they are ready to pass on to the afterworld. We interviewed 6 bereaved players from 4 different countries who wrote that playing Spiritfarers let them reflect on their loss experience and sometimes cope with grief, and then we asked them about their gameplay experience. We analyzed their interview data in combination of bottom-up and top-down approach. Translated transcriptions were first inductively coded and grouped into themes. Then from these, we formed final themes based on existing bereavement models, which were finalized through repeated discussion among researchers. And from this, we discovered the player's grieving experience closely resembled the dual process model of coping with bereavement, also called DPM by Stroebe and Schut. Also, we found that the players' bereavement experience and their level of engagement greatly varied, but those experiences and differences were partly accommodated by the game elements. First, the DPM states that the bereaved person, oscillates between encountering loss orientation stressors and restoration orientation stressors in their everyday life after they lost their loved ones. This continuous oscillation facilitates the coping process. And similarly, in Spiritfarer, players encounter several in-game elements and moments, which can be understood as loss and restoration orientation stressors. Finding characters' resemblance to the ones they lost and sending them away let them enter loss orientation state. But after sending them away, they had to come back to their everyday life and take care of the remaining spirits, which let them enter restoration orientation state. Repeated moving back and forth between 2 states created an oscillation between 2 player states, which closely resemble the oscillation described in the DPM. And through this oscillation, participants revisited or even reappraised their loss experience, and this facilitated their coping process. We also found that there are individual differences in players' bereavement experience according to their prior loss experience, gaming environment, and whether they focused more on the self or the game while they are playing the game. However, Spiritfarer managed to keep a diverse base of players engaged through game elements. By introducing complex and diverse characters, the game created many possible reference points where players might find resemblance to ones they lost in real life. And also, with engaging elements, the game managed to provide enjoyable experience for all types of players alike. And from this, we were able to find unique bereavement process and experiences that only games can provide. Players projected their own real-life loss experiences on the game, and they oscillated between 2 states while actively interacting with game elements. And game's interactive nature, as well as its capacity to generate social emotion, let players experience Spiritfarer as a designed experience, where players were able to actively cope with the personal loss they experienced. And this is the end of our presentation. Thank you all for your attention. Thank you.